if you really want to build something out of your interest, so interest is the first thing to decide a career path, but the most important ingredient is habit. So the topic of today's session is how to crack JEE and NEET, and we will talk about the most important aspect, and we can redefine it, that the psychology of success in JEE and NEET. And these two are really very important examination as far as our country's part is concerned, that you need to clear this NEET examination to get into the most prestigious medical colleges in India. And IIT JEE is required to get into NITs and IITs in India. And why these institutes are really very important, we all know that if you get into these IITs, you will definitely get a very good job. And then from that job, you can build a very good career. Okay. So guys, even if you want to get a very good seat in medical colleges, you want to do a very good practice, because to become a doctor, a well-defined doctor, you need to do a lot of practice, and practice is possible in well-settled government hospitals setups. So you need a very good medical college. But is it so easy? We know that for JEE, we need to pick PCM, and for NEET, we need to go for PCB. Let's talk about the JEE exam first, and then we'll talk about the other things. So these two are competitive examination. So this is our perspective on competitive examination. Many of you believe that competitive exams are different from the school boards, from your state boards. So what a normal sort of a definition is, this is what the difference between board exam and your competitive exam, and this will tell you how to cope up with it. This is just a conventional, introduction. Then I'll proceed to the main ingredient or the main point, which is really required. In board or school examination, mostly they are information-based questions. Information-based means close-ended questions, while in competitive examination, we have mostly application-based problems. In your board, there will be a subjective paper. In a competitive examination, there will be an objective paper. In your subjective paper, if you are unable to write an answer, so you will not get the marks, but you will not get any punishment. But in case of competitive examination, if you don't know the answer, then you will not get the marks of that problem. But even if you mark the wrong answer, you will get punishment for marking that wrong. So this is the basic difference between these two examinations. This is just a brief introduction that what are the different things. And this is about the JEE main. If you really want to get into these NITs, IIIT, CFTI, that is centrally funded institutions. So superficially, it looked like that, okay, this is a question paper that requires 3 hours of, you need to solve a paper of 3 hours of PCM. And we devote about 2 years or 3 years of our life. Maybe if you're preparing early, so then you will devote about 3 to 4 years of your life to prepare this exam, to prepare for PCM. And if you are going for NEET examination, you will prepare for PCB, and you will get into it. Wrong. This is not that simple. And let me tell you why. If we will consider the structure of IIT JEE examination, that will tell you that only if you're really preparing for PCM and only perfecting these three subjects up to the level of a good student will not guarantee you a seat in IIT. And why is it so? JEE main nowadays, just forget about this COVID-19 impact, but nowadays it happens twice a year, in the month of January and in the month of April. This year, this April one got delayed because of this COVID-19, and still we don't know, but supposedly it will occur in this month of September. But generally, January and April, we have 2 shifts in a day. First is from 9 to 12, second is from 2 to 5 in the afternoon, and this is in the morning. It's look pretty simple, that this is a question paper of PCM having 75 problems, and we need to cover it in about 3 hours. But let me tell you, now you have to reach the spot at 7 a.m. in the morning. This is what they are really looking for. You have to reach at the spot at 7 a.m. in the morning. This is your reporting time. You will get inside and you have to solve a question paper. You have to solve near about 75 problems from 11th and 12th, from physics, chemistry, and mathematics on different dimensions. If you want to reach at the examination center at about 7 a.m., so you will have to leave your house near about at 6 a.m., minimum at 6 a.m. Examination center can be very far. You have to arrange accordingly. So you have to get up at about 5 a.m. This is what the real thing, my dear friend. This is what is required. You need to consider it. You need to listen it carefully. So you have to get up at about 5 a.m. You have to be ready at about 6 a.m. You will reach at the spot at 7 a.m. You will get inside because this is your reporting time. You have to take this test from 9 to 12. This about 5 a.m. to 12, near about how many hours? 7 hours. In case of 2 to 5, again, the reporting time is 12:15. You have to be there at about, again, you need to leave your house at about 10 until 5, again, 7 hours. Okay. So this is, you have to take a test and you have to devote at least 7 hours. Maybe you are very good at mathematics, you are very good in chemistry, you're very good in physics, but you don't have an habit to sit about for about 3 to 4 hours continuously. So if you don't have that habit, you will not perform well in this test. IITs is checking whether you can devote, you can really think, you can, we focus for about 7 hours continuously, then only you can get into some prestigious NITs or CFTIs. This is what the psychology of JEE main examination. Yes, you have to be very good at PCM, but then you need to be very good in your sitting ability. You can sit for long hours, you can solve those different problems, those difficult problems, and that depends on your habit. And mind you, this habit cannot be developed in one day. You have to make a long practice for about 1 to 1.5 years. You have to sit for long hours. You have to solve this question. Then only on this day, on your examination day, on your judgment day, you can sit for about 7 hours. And mind you, this is from 7 a.m. to 12. You don't have anything. You don't have any refreshment time, any break, any tea break or whatsoever. You just have to go inside and you have to take this test. And you have to solve near about 75 problems from 2 classes, 11th and 12th. This is about JEE main. This is the psychology. You need to be perfect in this. And once you get clear through this JEE main, now comes the another hurdle, the JEE advance. And this is what the psychology is, my dear friends. Now comes this JEE advance examination. Within a day, you have to take 2 tests, 9 to 12, 2 to 5. Again, your reporting time is 7 a.m. You have to reach at the examination center at 7 a.m. You will have to start taking the first test at 9 and you will have to wind it up by 12. You will come outside by 12:15. Then again, you have to re-enter by 1:15. The second test will be from 2 to 5 and then you will get out of this examination center by 17. Yes. Again, you have to get up early at about 5 a.m. Just think about it. Why IITs are conducting 2 tests in a day? If they just want to know about how well you can perform in PCM, then they can easily conduct 1 test and they can decide whether you are good in mathematics or in physics or in chemistry or not. Why these 2 tests? Some of you will believe, okay, maybe these 2 tests are from different, concepts. One is talking about the objective problem. The second one is talking about the subjective problem. No, not at all. Both of these tests will consist of similar type of problem, like objective test, objective problems, then multiple select choice questions, assertion and reasoning type questions, similar type of problem. This is of PCM, this is of PCM. why IIT is conducting these 2 test papers within a day. They want to know whether or not you can perform pretty consistently for about 12 hours in a day. You can solve near about 100 plus question in physics and chemistry, that too of higher order thinking skills. Are you able to perform well? Whether you can perform in one test and then becomes loopy in the second test, or you will perform equally well in both of these tests. Were you able to manage your timings? Are you capable enough? Do you have this habit? And if you can perform perfectly well for about 12 hours, then you can get through and become an IITian. Then you can be in IIT Bombay, Delhi, Chennai, Calcutta. So then you can be a student of these IITs. So IIT is just not checking your ability to solve problems from physics, chemistry, and mathematics. They are actually, checking that whether or not you can perform pretty well. Are you habitual of sitting for long hours? Are you habitual of solving this difficult or tricky problems for about 12 hours within a day? And that is why, my dear friends, many conglomerates and many big companies choosing IITians for their companies, because they know that these people can work for about 12 hours in a day with full passion, with full integrity, and with full potential, because they have an habit from the very beginning. And let me tell you, this habit cannot be developed within a day or two. You have to develop this habit by a constant struggle of about 6 months at least. So this is the first thing which is required. If you really want to become an IITian, just having good context of physics, chemistry, and mathematics is not enough. You need to sit for long hours, 3 hours in one go at least. I believe this idea is going to be pretty much clear in your mind. Now the next one, if any one of you want to become a doctor and want to take NEET, then just hoping that devoting about 3 to 4 hours in a day can make you a very good doctor, it's a wrong concept, is a misconception. If you want to become a doctor, you should have a habit of about 12 to 14 hours of reading. So you need to have a reading habit of 12 to 14 hours. Even today, you know that in the time of COVID, doctors are working round the clock for about 18 hours in a day. So this is not only about the interest. If you really want to become a doctor, it's just not only about your interest. Your habit is like this, that you can study, you can read for about 12 to 14 hours in a day, because you need to go through the various research papers. Today, the doctors who are treating with this COVID-19 patient, they have to read a lot of research paper about the latest development in the medicines, in curing technology, or in testing methodology. So if you are not ready to read for about this much of period, then you cannot become a very successful doctor. And this is what NEET is about to check. These papers, these question papers or selection tests are designed in such a manner so that they can judge whether or not you can perform this. Just having a very good idea of physics, chemistry, mathematics, just having a very good idea of physics, chemistry, biology will not guarantee you a seat in these examinations. I hope you're getting it. What am I saying? Because this is what it is required. You need to sit for long hours, you need to build a habit, and then you need to solve these problems. So sir, like sir was saying that this is really very stressful. No, my dear students, this is not that stressful. Like I said, career depends on your habit. Interest is just an ignition which can take you to the door. But if you really want to enter into the field of your choice, then your habit is the must requirement. If you really want to become an IITian, your habit is important. If you want to become a doctor, your habit is important. Now the next thing, sir, why we need to do this much effort? So let me tell you a very important theory. This is my theory of reverse triangle. This is reverse triangle theory. If you want to achieve something in your life, this is really very important, my dear friends. The reverse triangle theory. And what it is this? Let's draw two triangles, or rather two reverse triangles. So why we have to devote this much time? Why we put this much effort? Why is it required? Why is important? Like I said in the beginning, reason leads result. If a ma'am is not going to check your copy on the coming Monday, then you will not make your copy. Deadline is important. Pressure is important. Reason is important. So this triangle, let's say this triangle is about population, this much population. And this triangle will tell you about level of difficulty. This is how life will work, the psychology. Guys, I'm a neuroscientist and I am actually teaching so many students in the past many years. So this is what the real thing is. This is population. This triangle denotes level of difficulty. Now, what do you mean by level of difficulty? This is the lowest level of difficulty. You know, people are doing easy jobs, easy work. This is the lowest level of difficulty. We have a lot more people are doing it. Population is more in this zone. You know, easy job, many people are doing it. Fine, my dear. As the level of difficulty rises, number of people doing it will drastically decreases. If you are doing very difficult thing, nobody else is able to do that, then the number of people definitely will go down. This is the real philosophy, the reverse triangle theory. So if you really want to do something pretty easy, okay, sir, I'm very good at doing this, doing that, and I can do that easily. I'm not ready to devote this much time. I'm not ready to take this much of pressure. Okay, many people will be with you at the level of low difficulty. And once with this much of effort, you get a job, then your boss will definitely know that, you know, for this, many other people are available. So give him work, give him pressure, give him stress, give her that odd timings, leave it. Because if he or she is not able to do it, somebody else will do it. Lot many people are there. It's okay. This is what the problem is in choosing the portfolio with lower level of difficulty. And once you choose to devote this much of time, once you want to go into the research of IIT Madras, then the level of difficulty rises, definitely. Very few people are doing it. And my dear students, this is not only about the level of difficulty, this is also about the resources which you will get. At very low level of difficulty, many people are there to compete with you. So what you will get, a very small portion of the resources. But once the level of difficulty rises, very few people are there to compete for those resources. You will get a lion's share. You will get a large chunk of those resources. And that is why some people are working about 12 to 14 hours a day and getting nothing, just about peanuts. And some people are devoting 10 hours in a day and getting money in crores. For example, why Sundar Pichai is getting about 2,000 crores in a year? Because he chose to, take a very difficult job in his hand. Very few people are ready for those type of challenging jobs. So that is why resources are pretty good at his end. So if you're not ready to take chances, if you're not ready to, work really hard for your success, if you're not ready to take challenges, and if you're not ready to go higher on this difficulty triangle, then you know what your fate must be. I hope this reverse triangle theory is clear to you. And I hope that what I'm trying to say, that why you need to clear this JEE exam why you need to clear this NEET exam, and why you have to become this person of this mentality is important. Now, many students believe that, okay, sir, we really want to, become this doctor, and we have this so many, resources with us. There's so many misconceptions. We'll talk about it now, about these misconceptions. My dear friend, these are the misconceptions. Number one, to get into IITs, to become a very good doctor, to become a very good engineer, to reach at the top of that difficulty level and getting a very high number of resources, you need to learn how to tackle and how to solve problems. If you are unable to solve any problem, this is the first thing. Go to your teacher and get the solution of the problem immediately. Absolutely wrong approach. With this, you may get a seat in any engineering college or medical college, but you cannot become a very good engineer or a doctor because you don't know how to solve a problem. You always look for someone who can guide you. So that means you can be a very good what? Job seeker. You can get a very good job, but you cannot become a leader. You cannot become a top notch in your field. So the thing is, first, if you face any problem, you're unable to solve any problem, try it once more. Try to read, try to revise everything, then give it one more chance. Just straight away, don't look for any support. For example, if I want to build my body, let's say I'm a bit fat and I want to build my body, and so for that I joined a gym. In my gym, with my trainer, I start doing this dumbbell thing. My trainer is putting his hand and helping me to lift that weight. In about 5 years or so, I will not build my body because I am not taking that pressure. My muscles are not starting building. Help is required. I know this. But without any effort, if a straightforward going to Google Baba, if a straightforward going for a teacher, okay, tell me, sir, tell me this, I'm unable to solve it. Try it about 3 to 4 times. Then only look for any support. The second misconception, you should have a library at your home and collection of high-level books. No, not at all. Like I said, IIT JEE and medical examination, they want to check your habit, your sitting habit, and how well you can solve your problems from your prescribed syllabus. You don't need to do this MSc books, this BSc books. That is a clear misconception. You don't need those high-level books. This is not actually required. Alien type problem will not come in your examination. If you really want, you can pick out any past year question paper. You will see that, okay, this is straight from your prescribed syllabus only. Many of you try to read. The third point is many of you try to read only definition and formulas. This is again a very big misconception. IIT and this NEET examination, they need to check how well you are conversant with this process of solving a problem. Like in my first misconception, if you are ready to look out for any help as soon as you face a problem, then you will not understand the process. Next, if you are just going well with your definition and formulas, again, you are not very well versed with the process. And mind it, my friends, if you are not really well versed with the process, you will not get a seat in IIT JEE or in medical examination. Study just before the exam. Okay, just take an example. Suppose in Delhi, we have a marathon after a week. I don't have any experience how to run a marathon. So what I'll do, just before one day of this marathon, I do a bit of practice, and I believe that I will, get a gold medal in marathon. Is it possible? No, not at all. Our mind will work like this. In some of our school examinations, some of you can say the close-ended question paper when we have to solve, then somehow we manage to remember about 10 to 12 facts, and we'll solve, not exactly we'll solve, we'll write the answer and we'll get marks. And what we believe, okay, we are really very good in getting marks. So We read it about one day before the exam and we'll get good marks. Because those exams are like this. Those are factual exams, fact-based exams. But if you really want to get, get through these competitive exams, you must know that you have to devote a lot of time. Like I said, you have to build a habit. Without that habit, you cannot secure a seat in IIT JEE or in medical examination. Second one, board and JEE are different in syllabus, or for say board and NEET examination are different in syllabus. No, not at all. If you are from CBSE board, these things are exactly the same. From your state board, you need to just check that these topics are there in my state board, and these topics are there in JEE. JEE will have a lesser number of topics, definitely. NEET will have a lesser number of topics, definitely. Now, the next one is competitive exam is very difficult, and it is only for studious and brilliant students. No, not at all, my dear. Many a times, studious and brilliant students, they don't have that habit to sit for about 10 hours. So they will not get a seat. Practice is what it is required. Only, talent will not take you anywhere. A lot of hard work, passion is important. And what IIT and what NEET exams are testing, they're testing your ability to sit for long hours. They're testing your ability to perform in those longer period of time. Okay. Now, in JEE, we have 12 lakh students every year. So we have a chance. When I was in class 12th and filling that form of AIMS New Delhi, one of my friend asked, okay, Gaurav, it's really very difficult to get a seat because in New Delhi AIMS, we have only 30 seats available at that point of time. So I told him, you know what? I just need one seat. We still have 30. That much confidence is required. This much level of, self-belief is required if you really want to do something in these two difficult fields. Before I'll end this session, because this is what it is required. The number one thing is reason. Find out the reason why you want to become an IITian or to say a doctor. Second, the psychology. Psychology is not about getting the proper understanding of PCM or PCB. You need to develop that habit of sitting for long hours. This is what is required. Third thing, if you're not ready to work really very hard, okay, be ready to, you can easily select or choose your point at this triangle. This is the reverse triangle theory. And next is pressure. My dear friend, pressure is required. Pressure is required. But which type of pressure? We have two categories of pressure. One is external pressure. The another one is internal pressure. For an example, we can pick an egg. If you provide pressure from outside, the egg will break. The life inside it will end. But if pressure is coming from the inside of the egg, again it will grow. But life will generate. This is the message, the clear message of our Mother Nature, that if you want to succeed in any part of your life, the pressure will come from within, not from the outside. Process is same, but results are different in these two cases. So what I believe that internal pressure is most important. Without pressure, you cannot achieve anything. Internal pressure is important. You know what? Your parents are saying, okay, you have to do it. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. They will say, try to understand. Your parents are really worried about your career, really worried about your future. So they don't know how to come out of that, nature of stress. So they will keep telling you, okay, you need to do it, you need to do it. Try to understand their situation also. But forget about that pressure. Just think about your own pressure. Try to create that pressure from within. And this is what you need to do. On your study desk, you have to stick this one paper, and there are only two options will be there on that piece of paper. Write down these two options on a piece of paper. Stick that paper on your study table. Number one, let's say if you are in class 11 at this point of time, so you have only 1.5 years remains. So the first option is pressure for 1.5 years. And the second option is pressure for lifetime. And let me tell you, this is a warning. If you will not take this option, life will certainly take this option for you. I hope this is pretty much clear to you. And for this journey of yours, you need a 1-point support from where you can get a very authentic study material and very authentic guidance. VMC is there for you, my dear friend. For more that how we can support in your journey, sir will tell you that how we'll go forward. So I think this is the end from my side. Sir will take over and tell you how Vidya Mandir can help you in achieving your dreams. So what I think my message is clear to everyone. So all the best for your future. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.